Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of WPRP. I'm Charles.
And I'm Gracie. This week we have a short show for all of you to get you ready for the big week ahead.
Gracie, what are some of your New Year's resolutions?
Mine are really obvious, just to get through my senior year and enjoy the time I have with my friends.
That's a great New Year's resolution. Let's see what the kids around school have. Hello, PRP. We're here talking about New Year's resolutions.
PJ Cleary.
Joey Box.
PJ, what's your New Year's resolution?
To get ready for my college team.
Just to wrestle at Bennett State.
We're here with Mr. Dippy. Mr. Dippy, what's your New Year's resolution?
Thank you so much. My New Year's resolution this year, along with my wife, is actually that we're going to be attempting to run the Derby 10K race in April. So we're hoping to get trained up for that and get prepared for that and, give a good performance during that 10K.
We're here with Carson. Carson, what's your New Year's resolution?
My New Year's resolution is to stop drinking soda.
We're here with Zamina. Zamina, what's your New Year's resolution?
My New Year's resolution is to save more money or to make better money-saving decisions.
I'm here with Trin and David. Trinity, what's your New Year's resolution?
My New Year's resolution is to eat better and work out more.
David?
I just want to be a better man every day and work hard.
Charles, do you ever feel down and need to talk to someone?
Yeah, everyone needs a helping hand sometime.
Well, Madison Wells has a piece about the person you can go visit if you need to talk to someone.
At Pleasure Ridge Park High School, there are many ways that you can find help whenever you have times where you need it the most.
So I work for Centerstone, and we have a relationship with JCPS, and so we have a lot of therapists placed in various different schools.
Ms. Cassie is one of the many mental health counselors at PRP, providing support to students who deal with problems in their life.
I know, their guidance counselor, obviously, and then Ms. Cotton, the school social worker, and the Family Resource Center are always really good places that help provide extra support.
She has been here for many years and has known since she was 15 years old that she wanted to become a therapist.
This is my room, and I get my referrals, and then we contact the schools and we set up services how we normally would, and then I'm here 3 days a week. And I think we have a really good working relationship here.
Cassie says her love for helping others goes much deeper than counseling.
I love working with kids. It's always been my calling. It's always been my passion. I've known since I was 15 what I wanted to do. So I just jumped right in, and that's all I've ever done.
To get a meeting with Miss Cassie, you can file a referral and talk to her about any struggles you may be going through.
So once they fill out the form, and I take the referral form back to my office and we process it through our system, and then either myself or I have a person who does my scheduling will contact the parent, and we can schedule an appointment at the office for our first meeting, or we can schedule an appointment to meet here at the school for our first meeting.
If you're ever feeling down or just having a rough patch in your life, you know now that there are multiple people in your school that you can talk to. I'm Madison Weiss reporting for WPRP.
It sure has been cold this week.
And the snow definitely didn't help. It made it worse.
Caleb, please tell me we have better weather coming in.
This week we'll be starting out cold and eventually ending up even colder, but we will have a period of warm in between. Temperatures will be rising until Monday when we hit 47. With chances of rain Saturday through Monday, with better chances on Sunday and Monday. We will then drop off into the 20s for the rest of the week, with Tuesday and Wednesday's lows in the single digits and a slight chance of precipitation. This is Caleb Martinez with your Ridge News weather.
No warm weather, dang.
At least it isn't as bad as the years past.
Speaking of years past, Samantha, Caitlin, and Caleb have looked up some of the most historical weather events in Kentucky. Let's have a look.
This past January 17th marked the 25-year anniversary of the 1994 winter storm. A few inches had been predicted, but we got 16 inches overnight instead. Temperatures dropped to -22 below, causing the Ohio River to completely freeze over. With that being said, 40 people reportedly died because of the storm. Over 10,000 were left without power, and plows were unable to clear the roads.
On January 26th, it'll mark the 10-year anniversary of the 2009 ice storm. People here in Louisville received 6+ inches of snow, 1 inch of ice. Over 600,000 people were left without power, and 69 schools lost power as well.
This year marks the 82nd year of the 1937 flood. On January 23rd, the flood reached a peak of 51.1 feet, and over 60% of Louisville had flooded, and the cleanup recovery took up to 2 months. Special thanks to the Wilson Historical Society for providing us with some of the photos featured in this piece.
On January 15, 1929, Martin Luther King Jr. was born in Atlanta, Georgia. The son of a Baptist minister, King received a doctorate degree in theology and in 1955 helped organize the first major protest of the African American civil rights movement. The successful Montgomery bus boycott, influenced by Mohandas Gandhi, he advocated civil disobedience and nonviolent resistance to segregation in the South. The peaceful protest he led throughout the American South was often met with violence, but King and his followers persisted, and the movement gained momentum. King appealed to Christian and American ideals and won growing support from the federal government and Northern whites. In 1963, Bayard Rustin and A. Philip Rudolph led the massive March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. The event's grand finale was King's famous I Have a Dream address. 250,000 people gathered outside the Lincoln Memorial to hear the stirring speech. In 1964, the Civil Rights Movement achieved two of its greatest successes, the ratification of the 24th Amendment, which abolished the poll tax, and the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which prohibited racial discrimination in employment and education, and outlawed racial segregation in public facilities. Later that year, King became the youngest person to win the Nobel Peace Prize. In the late 1960s, King openly criticized the U.S. involvement in Vietnam and had turned the efforts to winning economic rights for poor Americans. He was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee on April 4th, 1968. To end out the show, we have WPRP correspondent Edward Smith with a sneak peek at what our Health Academy has been up to.
This is PRP's medical lab, which is now home to the Health Sciences Academy and the future of healthcare.
I would say I'm trained in first aid. Can I give you your EpiPen or can you do it yourself?
Judging by the information being taught here, you may assume this is a college class. But this is PRP's Health Sciences Academy conducting one of the many labs that will be performed this school year, teaching skills that save lives and open a window for opportunity.
It's crazy to think that as high schoolers we're getting prepared to do stuff that college students are just getting introduced to do.
They're learning how to take care of someone in an allergic reaction, if they had a seizure, if they were bleeding, like a nosebleed or a cut. They're also going to learn CPR on adults, infants, and children.
PRP junior Ashley 9 feels prepared for a field that she wants to pursue.
It really helps with like hands-on stuff and how you're really going to act with the patient and what you're really going to do. It's really good with like emergent situations.
The equipment being used is the closest you can get to professional, from the dummies to the hospital beds to wheelchairs.
So all the equipment in here was actually donated by Norton Hospitals. We have mannequins to practice patient care and to practice what would be happening in a real situation.
But the opportunity doesn't only exist in the classroom. Students are already starting job shadows with Norton Healthcare.
I think this opens a lot of doors, especially now that we've partnered with Norton Hospital. They have that ability to co-op with Norton their senior year.
I'm going to do my interviews for Norton's and hopefully get that for this year and next year, because you can also get like a job after you graduate. They have like a contract that you can do and they'll pay for your college.
Norton is a great partnership that PRP has, and it's going to allow us to get hands-on experience.
Students can also do work through JCTC to earn their nurse's assistant license right out of high school. A big step that Mrs. Ferguson herself knows the significance of.
I'm a registered nurse. I've been a nurse for 11 years. This is going to be great. They're going to be on top of so many skills that they're going to know how to do. So when they go into nursing school, they're already hopefully going to be certified with their nurse's assistant license.
And it's agreed amongst the students and teacher that even though you may not pursue a career in the healthcare field, this class teaches skills for life. Reporting for WPRP, I'm Edward Smith.
That's all for this week's edition of WPRP. I'm Gracie.
And I'm Charles. Have a great weekend, PRP.